Peace family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about finding or having an exit strategy for clocking in these 9 to 5 hours. You know, you got these 9 to 5 jobs out here that is taking up more of your time and energy than actual value and substance that you should be creating for your life that you are actually doing. So what kind of dove me in this subject today was just being out here in this 3D realm. You know, when you growing in this place of ascension, and if you was at a certain age to experience, you know, the vid when it shut everything down and it was forcing people to process and think about things in a different manner. I understood before that happened, but it made it more aware to the people who didn't understand that you are depending on other beings who don't have your best interests at heart way too much. We all depend on each other, so that's why I'm very mindful of my words. I wouldn't be doing this if y'all wasn't watching. I still would be, but it wouldn't have the same impact. We all need each other, but what's happening is we're putting our trust into beings who don't have our best interests at heart. It's kind of like when you trust your mom or your dad to kind of be there and support you through something that you really needed them to be there for, and they show you that they don't fuck with you. It's just like that. We're putting our trust in our faith into the wrong beings, even though in our spiritual realm we're putting it in the process. Meaning we're putting, when I say we're putting our faith in our energy into the process, meaning we're putting it into the Creator. When we put it into the Creator, that gives us more strength and more durability while we're going through the process, and it actually gives us like a little bit more charge when just believing in the unknown realms that we don't have all the answers to. We are in a weird day and age right now, really weird, because you have a lot of men who can provide You got a lot of men out here who can provide, right? And that's one of the main necessities of a man. But then when they shut the system down, then that kind of removes a lot of things that a lot of these men or males out here can provide. You know, so most men is just getting to the bag. They're not finding purpose. They not focused on the Creator. You know, they not focused on the next generation. It's to get to the bag. So in today's society, yes, you can support and provide for your household as an unorganic, not a natural man. You know what I mean? And all of those things will show, and they did show when the vid kind of shut things down for a little bit, and when it happens again, and it's going to be a lot worse, it's going to show the people who was focused on changing a dollar or creating or making a dollar versus the ones who was focused on self and their relationship with the Most High. A lot of beings is not focused on their relationship because they are so focused on this 3D vessel and keeping up with the Joneses or maintaining a certain lifestyle that they forget or they push to the side their relationship with the Creator and the Most High. These 9 to 5 jobs, right? You putting in a lot of hours and a lot of time to still be struggling to barely be making ends meet. And before, one person paying the bills, one male, or the way society is set up, sometimes you may have a female doing it. One being used to be able to pay the bills and cover. It's set up today to where if you are a man and you're taking care of the bills of you and yours, you know, you're going to need your mainstream, and then you're going to need other multiple sources to kind of balance out the avenues, you know, because if you're working solely at a bill job, then you have to understand that bill job or that plantation you're going to have to put a lot of hours in. So that means that's going to be more time that you have to spend away from your household. If you was building your household on your land, you would be spending more time with your family or your community or whoever you choose to build with. A lot of beings aren't focused on getting there, and what I realize is a lot of beings will never get there. So we have to exclude those and focus on where we're supposed to be focused at. You know, through this transition, it's been hard for a lot of us because a lot of us, like, when all of this weird witchy stuff started happening, we kind of just wanted to go off into the woods somewhere, you know what I'm saying, in the nature and just live off the land. But the way the system monetized that, you couldn't do that without figuring out some way to wiggle around their systematic structure. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, you still want to help people, so then you still need finances. So then it's a whole confusing rubber band ball. I like them rubber band balls. In one hand, you're trying to reach your higher self. You're going for it. You reaching all kind of obstacles. You plowing through obstacles, right? But then in your spirit world, you still processing, damn, I feel better doing this. I feel way more light, feel way more joy, I feel way more peace. But this isn't compensating for my finances. So now I have to compromise something in between, or I have to figure out another way in order to make these finances, so that way I can still live, help, and heal people, and myself as well too, because you're not gonna be able to do any of it without yourself. And I say that because I'm a regular human being. I was brainwashed to sugar just like everyone else. And I say that to say, sugar was one of my obstacles when I was younger. Now, I'm better at it now. And I know we got sugars in all our foods and everything that we do and we take in. So I feel like for me, one of my biggest things I had to learn in that process was fasting. Because even if I don't eat any sugar, it's like, because I've allowed the opposition to program me with so much sugar that it created cavities that sometimes I will have a cavity or a toothache and I didn't go to the dentist and get it taken care of because because I just do shit my way, you know, the creator way. When they tell me, oh, it's so bad that you got to go now, cool. Or it may fuck around, bring me another holistic doctor my way or something, you know. But I understand these things, and it's like, all right, these are things that I got to pay for when I was younger. So I'm not going to be able to help people the way I want to if I have all of these other things going on with me. So I had to take a couple days off even from filming, because I just start thinking to myself like, damn, everything is moving in the right manner. You know, I still got a couple obstacles here and there, you know. Spiritually, we still vibing in here, but it's like meeting the finances and everything starts flowing together, and then all of a sudden the opposition hits me with something that they instilled a program inside of me a long time ago, you know. So then it's like, oh, I got a toothache, now my cavity is hurting, then my cheek gets swollen a little bit, just one of them, and I haven't had a swollen cheek in forever. But in my mind it's like, bro, you haven't had a swollen face since like damn near after high school. That was 15-20 years ago. So that means that clearly you have been doing better, but you are fighting so hard that the opposition is using other tasks and other ways that they was able to reach you when you was younger to affect you now. So if I can affect your talking now, that's going to keep you outside of this camera from pushing this word out and doing what you do. And this is why I say this to say, like, this is why the 9-to-5 jobs is hard during this day and age right now, because we're in a transition to where you are literally able to access everything. It just depends on how hard you're willing to work. And for a lot of us, when we're moving in a more righteous space, we actually lose a lot of resources around us, you know, just due to a lot of the resources having different contracts connected with the witchy team. So now that we moving in a more righteous light, you see that certain people aren't allowed to help you, certain people aren't allowed to assist you. And if you think about it, even the demons or the beings that got the demons attached to them, they help you. You'll realize, I'll let this pass. We're getting better with these right here. So you'll realize with the beings who got the demons connected to them that's in charge of them, even when those beings help you, because it's not natural for them to help, they usually have to do something to compensate with much more harmful and ill intentions towards you, because they naturally wasn't supposed to share those resources with you. This is why they have to do certain things to you after they help you, because technically they getting rewarded for hurting you. So when they help you, you know, it's like they're trying to help you to get closer to hurt you more, but you catch it and counter it. So their attacks and the shit that they work in doesn't affect you the same way. But where it does affect all of us at is, a lot of us are in a much better space spiritually. We try and figure out how to eat better. We try and figure out how to live better. We not complaining as much. We changing our vibrations. I see a lot more men trying to figure out how to be men, or males trying to figure out how to be men. It's a little bit more women or females trying to figure out how to be women. That one is a little tricky. You know, I guess we all just got to get to a better space for that to even be its own thing. But even right now, the way that's set up, it's like men never really had this. Men always had the space, but it was always vocalized very differently when things was transitioning. So just kind of understanding, like, a lot of these things that's going on right now, like 9-to-5 jobs is gonna drain you. It's gonna take more time from you. It's not gonna allow you to be able to focus your energy the way you want to focus your energy. You're gonna have to do things on somebody else's time. You know, you gotta operate on somebody else's schedule. And we got people coming as close as possible while I am sitting here filming, and it is very obvious that I am filming right now. And if you could not walk behind me while I am filming right now, I am filming right now. So that would be amazing. That would be amazing right now. If you could wait a couple minutes while I'm filming, it'll be a couple minutes. I was already occupying this space. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. You know, so back to what I was saying, like a lot of beings are just very unaware or self-aware of what's actually going on or what's happening. You know, it's a lot of entitlement that's happening. And when the system shuts down, a lot of this entitlement is not going to fly anymore. So a lot of people who were feeling as though they had some kind of authority or power is not going to be valid anymore. So it's kind of like when women bulk up using their masculine energy to men. They cannot physically beat that man, but they will still use that demonic masculine energy to create that energy frequency to kind of put that man in that space. And that's the difference, you know, with this systematic protection. When you don't have the protection of this demonic system, then people tend to carry themselves with a little bit more forceful respect, because most men already understand there's a chance of physical engagements. So men don't communicate with men the same way women communicate with men. I'm more subject to put my hands on a man faster than a woman. That's obvious, and it should be the same way if another man is communicating with me. He should be more willing to take it there with me than he is with a female. You know, that's a weaker of this species, you know. They're more so of, I asked my daughter this the other day, and it was like, are you a gift from God or are you a prize from God? And she just automatically already knew herself. She was like, well, Daddy, it's kind of the same thing, but I believe I'm a gift. So what her even understanding that she's more of a gift and then a prize. See, when you put yourself as a prize, then you're putting yourself on a hierarchy where it's placing you as a god or as the god yourself, when we already have a creator. None of this in this realm would be possible if we didn't have the creator. You know, and to be honest, the system would be doing a lot more damage to us if it wasn't beings like me and like us out here pushing against the system. You know, it's a lot of people and beings who comfortable with 9-to-5 jobs, who's comfortable with being just paying insurance, drivers, like all this witchy demonic stuff. You know, it's a lot of complacent sheep who are keeping the system afloat, you know. So for me, I tell people all the time, I just look this way. You know, I'm way more intelligent than the average being, and that's just normal. Most beings aren't trying to do better or more for the next generation or for themselves. They're figuring out how to try to get by through each day to keep the system rolling, which is fucking over the next generation. We wouldn't have all this people being confused if a boy is a boy or a girl. I don't tell my daughter none of that shit. It's two genders, simple process. God created it that way. He didn't say, hey, I'm gonna make you a man and then tell you everybody you're a girl, or vice versa, you know what I mean? So just understanding, like, a lot of things that we do and we allow, it helps keep the system rolling. So you have to get to a point in your life to where you can stand for something or you will fall for anything. And understanding with this retrograde transition that we in right now, a lot of us are going to be having a lot more people moved out of our space. We're going to be seeing ourselves in a lot more isolated situations, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have a lot more people that you used to communicate with falling off. You're going to have family members that don't even want to deal with you anymore or engage with you anymore, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like you find yourself in a better space, but you also understand that most of the people out here operating in this system is moving as sheep with the demons. It's a whole demonic structure out here. So if you are moving with God and people are giving you friction, then you have to know that it's only two teams out here. If they're not moving with God, they moving with these demons, you know? So finding yourself in this weird retrograde space right now where, you know, Bill Jobs is not really it. It's a lot of shit going on in the digital world where you could work from home and you can make more money than what you was making when you was working at the actual plantation yourself. It's just how much you are willing to apply yourself. How much work are you willing to put in? What are you willing to sacrifice? You know, because at the end of the day, when they do shut this shit down again, you are going to be out back if you haven't been moving or thinking past Bill Job. You know? If your job is an end-all means, then you are going to be worse than the lost sheep that's out here now, that's just living in la-la land as if, oh, left wing, right wing, is different. A left wing, right wing is the same fucking bird. Like, you have to not allow yourself to be retarded, you know? You can look up, I'm right above an airport. There's regular planes that fly across here. There is no white stuff called chemtrails coming out the back of them. So I know the difference between people telling me contrails and chemtrails. You know, it's a bunch of illiterate beings out here that want you to be complacent and submissive to keep this slavery systematic shit alive. And it's our job to break it down, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to keep pushing forward. We're going to keep knocking the heads off these demons out here. And all the robot zombies that's complacent, we already know what side they're choosing, so they're going to have to get swiped out the way too, you know? You either going to move with God and the Creator, or you gonna have to pay a very bad price, you know. It's gonna be really disgusting. So if I was a lot of these beings out here, I would be transitioning. I would be doing everything I can to walk a different life than the disgusting one I walked before. You know, I wasn't taught a lot of things when I was younger, just like a lot of us was. And we had TV, we didn't have access to $1,000 robot in our phone. Computers, technology, all this stuff. Now you do. Now there's no more excuses. No more excuses. You got to get to it. I got to get to it. We got to get to it. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't want to run it up too long. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.